Hop, there we go. Here we got a man. Give that man a raise. Right? Without Archistar, how do we find a site? It's there's a little bit involved. So let's just have a little bit of a look. So I'm glad you asked me. I asked. Okay. So where do you start? Market research. So we're going to assume you've done your market research. So we go, okay, yep, all right, we've done our market research. .id, the population experts, are a really good website to go and visit to get some info on demographics and what's been happening and age and all sorts of stuff. It's a great place to start. But fundamentally, with development, the way that you make your most money is identifying a need. There's got to be a need in the market. And at a personal level, I'm in the affordable housing. I have seen that need. And we all know that things are getting expensive and that affordable housing, it's all through the media, all over the place. We need more affordable housing, more affordable housing, more affordable housing. I've pictured that need and I've got a business model that I've created to try and deliver to that. So you as a developer have to say that you've got to find a need. So, okay, I've got affordable housing, but it's not just, where, it's everywhere. No, there's more specific pockets. So I've got to understand where those pockets are. So you as a developer have to see something that you know is a need and then drill into that. A lot of people say, I've got this parcel of land, what can I do with it? Right? That's great. That's necessity because you've got basically a legacy asset, what I call a legacy asset, and you want to develop it. That's great. You can do that. But a pure developer finds a need in the market and then targets that need and delivers a product for them. So the first thing is to understand what's needed. Then we go looking for a suitable property. So the first thing we'll do is identify a suburb, for example, that we go from the information we know. Great, okay, we target a particular suburb. Someone give me a suburb. Blacktown. Okay, so we've identified something in Blacktown. So then we go, all right, I need to find an address that would suit that particular development that I'm looking at doing. Might pop into I'll look at a site and I go, okay, well, that looks like an okay site. I need something close to the rail, etc., maybe close to school, etc. I go over here. So I choose a property address. I have a look at that address and I go, okay, let's have a look at the planning portal. Now I go to the New South Wales planning portal and I'll do some, do a search on that address and it will tell me, it's zoned X, it's got a floor space ratio. It'll tell me other sorts of all the planning information about that site. Fantastic. All right, so now I know whether or not what I'm proposing is permissible on that site. I'll then have a look at Six Maps, for example. And I'll go and have a look at it and I go, okay, I can see what's in that area. That's great. And I'll use their dimensional checker and I'll say, okay, that's a 900 square metre parcel of land. That's good. I'm good with that. All right, let's go. I'm trying to do all of this without spending $1 on any subscriptions. So everything's looking good so far. I've got my area. I'll run a high-level FISO on it using the information that I know. I know what my construction costs will be and I know what my revenue will be. So I've got to know that information. If I don't know that information, I'm in all sorts of trouble. So I've got to know that information. Now, I might get that information by visiting some quantity surveyors' websites. There are some, and I don't want to publicise anyone's particular brand, but there are some quantity surveyors who publish for public knowledge some information. So you could get that info from there. You could ring some quantity surveyors. You can ring some builders. There's different ways of getting that info. The revenue side, hopefully if you're planning on delivering something into a particular market, you've done your market research on what those prices would be, but you can also, again, jump online and get some pricing information readily. If you plug that information in and it's not feasible, go back to number one, start again, find another site and look at it. But what you've got to really contemplate is it not viable because there was something about the land, or is it not viable because it doesn't matter where you go, it's not going to be viable? So you might do this 3 times and it's going to be not viable a number of times. So the question then is it because your revenue is wrong? Is it because your construction cost is wrong? Or is it because it's just not viable in that location? And you alone can make that decision.